begin.
Yeah. I've chose to do my slides on Jacob Faithful. He's a Native American artist. He's one of the most inspirational Native American artists I chose to write about. He's the lead singer of Young Spirit, and he's the drum keeper of Young Spirit, and song composer of Young Spirit. Frog Lake, Alberta, that's where he's from. Way up there. You guys talking about Canada?
Mhm.
That's way up there by the. Way up there. This is a picture of Jacob Drew. He's an artist too. He likes to draw. Jacob has been singing and dancing most of his life. Dancing and drawing. And I just got done talking to Jacob on the phone before I got here. And the next video, just see how they sounded. And he was teasing me, and he said he wrote this song about me. He wrote it. I'll give you a little listen.
Yes, I'm sorry about it. I'm broken, kind of chubby, but all Indian girls love me. Hey, baby, it's the way I sing, and these pretty songs are that I can keep on dancing all night long.
And that's about you?
No, he was just joking.
Oh,
I
I
said,
go.
that's about your lifestyle. So you're teasing. I call him brother, so we're close together. We call each other brother. We know each other to the point where we see each other on the powwow circuit. We acknowledge each other. We're both brass dancers. We're both singers. So that's a good.
Yes, I'm
Oops.
Mhm.
To the next one.
yes.
Okay. Jacob started singing at age 7. This is one of his relatives, his nephew, singing there. He didn't have no pictures. He was too embarrassed to give me a pic of him singing when he was a kid. When Jacob was about 17, him and his brothers went to the sweat lodge. He's very traditional. He's non-alcoholic, doesn't use drugs and all that. He went into a sweat lodge one time, and he was asking his elder, he had a vision while he was in the sweat lodge. And he said that when he was in the sweat lodge, I don't know if you guys ever been in the sweat lodge, but in the sweat lodge, in his vision, he's seeing him and his brother singing at the drum. So they got all happy. The elder told him that was meant to be. That was meant to be. You're supposed to be a singer. And that's how things are going to turn out. Lucky enough, a powwow started the following weekend. They needed a drum, a host drum. They asked him. So him and his brother Eric and George went to it, and Young Spirit was formed. They were formed there in 2001, and they've been singing ever since then. They started out with just 3 of them. They all got, majority of them got married, so they got wives. They sing backup singers for Young Spirit. They call him Young Spirit because when he was a young guy, how he got started out, his mother and father traveled to a lot of hand game tournaments up in Canada, round dances and all that. He was only 7, so he'd go to these old guys, and that captivated him, let him see them sing, so he went up to them. He would sit down at the drum, but they would chase him away because he had respect for them. They would give him coffee, get them what they want. So they respected that of Jacob. So they let him sing with him, and Jacob always had that in his heart, Young Spirit. In that language, it's Kanasawi, the spirit that's young. So there's a lot of songs that he sings about that. That's how they got that name, Young Spirit. Thus, when some of the accolades that Young Spirit got, in Canada, their CD called Cree Brown, that song, they got an Indigenous Music Award for Best Hand Drum in Canada. 2018, that's their CD that they got it off. Another part of their accolades, they won 2013, 2018 World Class Singing Champion in Albuquerque, New Mexico. One power I never got to go to, but I got it on my bucket list. Out of Navajo was down there, so they always mixed me up with Navajos, like, are you a Navajo? No, I'm not, I'm North Dakota. Gathering Nation, they're on my bucket list. And here's another song with them, and they're singing at the Grammys on the red carpet. He says, I was on the red carpet, Wheeler, was you? I just a little bit of that, put that out there, so he has proof of that. He always has a lot of youth sing with him. He always brings singers up, and they start out with Young Spirit, and they go on with other drum groups. And he's always, one of his biggest things that I say, I didn't choose him because he's a good singer or a power dancer, is because he works with youth. Jacob's professional jobs, he works with programs dealing with youth, training and facilitating workshops. He speaks about drugs, alcohol, and suicide amongst the Native Americans in Canada. That's why we are here, Kanasawa, Young Spirit Singers, to esteem for the future. The youth today need to hear the message. This is from Jacob and Faithful. They have a choice of their own life, where to stay away from alcohol and drugs. Keep fresh. And that's one of the young singers he's teaching right now. He's just started dancing, started singing, so he's always involved in them. One of the greatest, the accolades, he just told me just now, they just got done winning a singing contest in Canada this past weekend, 20,000 they won. They got nominated for the Navy Awards up in Canada, that's their Grammys up there. But said out of all this accolades, he says, of an elder, told him once, he said, you guys keep your spirit strong. Keep on teaching the youth, because they're our future. They're the future generations. And Jacob's word, tell everybody that hi, that means giving thanks and treat. That's all I have.
And now